Let's begin this morning's practice on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet are going to come together, knees are going to just plop apart. So we upped our Wi-Fi here. Hopefully it's better. For some reason something happens. I always come back to you. So just go to a down dog and reset yourself. Okay. Soles of the feet together. Lay down on your backs. Let the feet press firmly together. Let the inner thighs drop open. Turn the palms open and shut your eyes for a moment. Take a big breath in through your nose. On your exhale breath, exhale out through your mouth and let the energy just kind of slide from the crown of the head all the way through your tailbone, through the base of your feet. Feel your low back press firmly into the mat. Feel the back of the shoulder blades press down. And don't stop your breath. Just let the natural rise and fall of the breath kind of move the energy wherever your energy is this morning with your eyes closed, or if you prefer to have them open, it's fine. Take your left hand and just encourage your left thigh to drop down a little bit more. So use your hand to do that. And then take your right leg up and grab the outer blade of your foot for a half happy baby. And if grabbing the outer blade of your foot doesn't feel great today, I'll just suggest sliding your hand to the back of the thigh and using that energy to pull the thigh bone around the rib cage. So use the hand to pull the knee around the rib cage and get this external rotation of your right thigh. Let your right shoulder drop down and keep the shoulder blades squared, the lower back down. Good. If you'd like, you can hook the big toe and see if you can get a little bit more of a pull. And then keeping your hand on the thigh, start to straighten your leg. And your leg may not go very straight, so it may have a deep bend. So your just leg is out at an angle. Up and down, over to the right a little, and your leg is out at an angle, and my leg definitely has a bend. Keep drawing your right shoulder down into its socket like you're in an extended side angle, or a standing leg raise, I meant, and just breathe. Good. Rebend the leg, take the foot back down to the floor, Supta Baddha Konasana. Other side, take your right hand down, press to the inner thigh, grab the outer blade of your left foot, and just gently begin to pull the outer thigh to the outside of the left rib. And think like doing a little less this morning in your practice, and then seeing if you can create more space for yourself. Use the strength of your right hand subtly to continue to externally rotate your right thigh, so you're on the blade of your right foot. You can reach for the big toe and see if you can get a little bit more energy. Draw the shoulders down the back, let the neck be soft. Feel the strength of your lower belly. And then you can stay with this, or if you want to try straightening out the leg a little bit, breathe some space into the back side of that left hamstring and leg. Let the shoulder continue to draw back like a standing leg raise, like a toe hook. Breathe right here. Rebend that leg so you're in a half happy baby. Great. You're going to grab the outer blade of your left foot and then draw the right leg up into a full happy baby. So lengthen your tailbone, just 3 breaths right here as you lengthen and you pull the knees to the outer part of your ribs the best that you can. Move the tailbone closer to the floor. Draw the waist up. Now keeping your legs the way that they are, if you can, flex your feet really strong. Take your hands and reach them in between your thighs. Just keep your legs the way they are, kind of like you're in a squat or a crow. Turn your palms forward like you're pressing the energy. Start to draw the shoulder blades up off the mat. Try to lift left with your neck and more with your core. Now, palms flex firm, legs flex firmly, feet flex, and you just hold. Scoop out your lower belly. Draw your shoulder blades more up and see if you can come up a little higher when you lift. Try not to lift with your head, lift with your core. Few breaths. Think about wrapping the legs around the outer part of your arms. Flex your feet, flex your hands, draw in a little more. Good. Keep reaching with your shoulder blades. Good. Draw the belly in. Reach the palms as if you're holding something smack in between your hands. Keep your leg like this. Straighten your legs. Flex your feet. Reach firmly like there's a ball or a block in between your hands. Flex your feet. So my legs are like in a little mini V. Good. Then you're going to bring your legs together. The hands are going to split. So they're straight up and down, guys. Arms reach forward, feet flex. Draw and scoop out the belly. Keep the left leg lifted like this. Bend your right knee. Now you can keep your left leg up and down, or you can lower it so it hovers. Just hold here. Draw the belly in. So straight up and down is cool, or at a level that works for you. So more intense is going to hover. Draw in more. Good. Switch the legs. Straight up and down, switch the legs. Good. So just like this a few times. Draw in, look up, switch the legs. Keep reaching forward. Good. Lower back presses, belly scoops in, switch the legs, flex the feet. Switch the legs, flex the feet. If you need support, place your hands down. That may give you a little bit lift. Couple more. Switch. Good. Switch. Like you're moving in space. Switch. One more time each side. Switch. One more time this side. Switch. Both legs bend in 90-degree angles. Slide your palms forward. Start to move yourself up to a supported boat. So it looks like this. It's kind of like a sad boat. Lift your legs, lift your chest, have your palms facing, press down on the mat. Shoulder blades pull apart. Draw the belly in. Let your breath just flow. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, step to a downward facing dog. So as you arrive to this first downward facing dog, take a moment to just set it up. You may need to pump out your legs a few times, let your head just kind of detach from your body. That is not hard for me to do right now. Anchor your hands, and it's good to just look at your real estate. I always say your body is your real estate in your yoga practice. Your hands are firm, your index fingers are forward. Mine are about the width of the mat, slightly in. Yeah. And then the feet are about hips width. Spread your toes really wide. You can bend as much behind your knees as you need this morning to make the pose feel good. Let your head just go. Focus on the outside of your body. Wrap your outer arms in, plug down. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving so you can begin to start the meditation of this practice, which is almost, in my mind, more important sometimes than the actual physical practice. Roll forward to plank. Modify as much as you need. You can drop your knees in plank position. If you're nursing an injury or just don't want to work as hard, feel the hands press firm, broaden across the upper shoulders. Tighten up your legs. Squeeze your outer ankles in. And move your eyes to the front edge of your mat. Yeah. So keeping your hips as still as possible. You can do this with your knees down if you need to. Just slide your right hand out in front of you a little bit. So your right hand's a little further forward. Yeah. So my left hand is more underneath my left shoulder. My right arm is more forward. Now your left hand is going to match that. So it's a longer stance in your plank. Good. And then your right hand's going to come directly underneath your right shoulder. And then your left hand's going to match that. Good. One more time. Right arm out. Do it slow. So your hand comes out just a couple inches further. Left hand out just a few inches further. Right hand matches underneath right shoulder. Left hand matches underneath left shoulder. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. You should feel that in your core. Roll forward again to a plank position. Move your eyes with you to the front edge of your mat. Drop your knees if you need support. Bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga, something that works that you know that you could support. Pull your heart and your chest through for an up dog. Point your toes. Activate the front of your thighs. Press through your hands. Look up with your eyes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. If lower back's an issue, you can skip up dog. You can always just come down to a cobra. Look to the top of the mat. You can step your right foot forward. Come to your fingertips. You can step your left foot to meet it. Long spine on the inhale breath. Hands can also just come to the front of your shins. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up, reach big. Drag your hands to prayer at heart center. Drop your arms. Just standing upright, let your shoulders draw down your back. Feel your thighs contract, your waist stay long. Energetically reach up, look up a little with your eyes. Dive in over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine to prepare. 2 big steps to a plank. Gets you back. So really slow. Bend your elbows, chaturanga. Feel what you're doing. Drop your knees if you need to. Drag yourself to an up dog if that's available, or skip. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot forward to the top of the mat. Yeah. Match your right foot to meet. Long spine right here. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Feel. Drag your hands to prayer. Let your arms go. Again, stretch the arms up, look up a little. Dive over bent knees. I bend my knees a lot as I fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine to prepare. 2 big steps gets you back to plank. Bend your elbows in half to chaturanga. Keep contracting your waist and your thighs. Drag your heart and your chest through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let your head go. Plug down, arrive into your space. Look where you want to land. You can step, you can float your feet to the top. It's up to you how you want to get there. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up, a little higher, a little stronger. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Prepare yourself. Step, step, or float to your chaturanga. If you're going to float, you must land with bent elbows and then drag yourself through your up dog. Keep it clean. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Okay. So in your downward facing dog, float your right leg up only hip height. And I say float, don't fling the leg. Lift like you're moving in space. Draw your waist up. So your hips and your pelvis are really neutral. Your left thigh bone draws back into its socket. Your inner right thigh is active and your toes are flexed. Broaden the outer shoulders, plug down, let the head go. Point your right toes. Point them if you can firmly, and then roll forward to plank. So now your right foot is pointed and it's hovering the mat. This is kind of just getting our hips into the socket. Look forward with your eyes. Hug your right knee straight in. Scoop out your belly like you did on your back. Grip your outer arms in. Keep pressing down. Look forward with your eyes. Step your right foot smack in between your hands for me. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Grab the front of your shin, somewhere on your shin, and come up to a triangle from the ground up. So if you know you need a tighter stance, then you work that out. You can always pull yourself up and kind of separate your feet. But triangle pose with your hand on your shin, somewhere on your shin. If you prefer a block, place it to the outside of your calf. Slide the left arm up, then look up with your eyes, reminding you that your back left leg is turned in enough that your thigh bone can contract. Your waist can stay long, and this is not a back bend. So there's a general feeling of a leaning back, but it's more obliques. A side body lifting you and eyes looking up. And then be still in the pose the best that you can for a few breaths. Squeeze the outer and the inner legs in. Feel your feet press down. See if you can use a little less energy to hold yourself up in the pose. Yes, these look really good. 2 more breaths. Eyes move to the floor. Hands are going to circle. Back heel is going to lift. You're going to walk your right foot over because you're now in a low lunge. So you need hips width distance. Activate your back leg. Really get high on the ball of your back foot. Easy twist. Left hand down, right arm up. Grip your outer hip in. Stack the 2 shoulders as if you're in a Vashisthasana side plank. Look up with your eyes. So I know for me, if my right hip feels tight, the nature is I want to wing that hip out. So grip it underneath you. Twist from above the belly button. The little ribs move. The eyes go up. Look down with your eyes. Okay, left palm's going to go flat. Left knee's going to drop. I'm going to turn my left leg out on an angle. If you have the space, this is ideal. Left hand underneath shoulder. This is supported side plank. Right leg lifts, right arm extends up. It's really good to know how to get into this modified side plank. 2 shoulders. Flex your right foot. If you want to add a little bind here, bend your top leg, grab your ankle, kick behind you, Squeeze the shoulder blades together, look off your right shoulder. This is optional. Firm up your left arm more. Hug and grip your left hip underneath you. Extend your right leg back if you took the bind, right arm up. Now, look down with your eyes. Don't let your right leg touch the floor. Right hand down, peel your left leg. So you're in like a little plank with your knee down. Just like I'm doing. Right leg extends back, hips are squared. Left knee is underneath left hip. You got it? Curl the left toes into the mat. Firm up your outer arms. You're gonna press your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog, how we started. Right leg is lifted to a three-legged down dog. You got it. Grip your outer hips in. This time, point your toes again. Hug your knee back towards your chest. Land your right foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Warrior one if you're nursing an injury. Crescent lunge. Make sure you have a wide enough position with your feet that your left thigh can turn forward. Your left ribs can turn forward. Your arms can energetically reach up. You feel your feet press down, your waist lift. And really get grounded. Most of us get to these beginning poses. We want to run for the hills. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh. Nice work. Hands come down to the floor. Vinyasa or not, it's up to you. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Upward facing, if you're taking it, should feel good. Nice, Kristen. Downward facing, hips press back. On the inhale breath, extend your left leg up and back, three-legged down dog, and just pause. So as you move, breathe into your body parts. Breathe in as your body moves and opens. Grip your outer hips under you. Firm up your right hip and thigh. Broaden your shoulders and your arms. Good. Point your toe. Keep the lift of that inner thigh. Roll forward to plank. You're in a three-legged plank. Pointing your left toes if you can. Keep looking forward with your eyes. Hug your left knee in, scoop out your belly. Round your spine. Grip your outer arms in, press down with your hands. Stay with it. Look forward, land your left foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. You should be heel to heel or heel to arch. Triangle pose from the ground. Pull up on the front of your left shin. Use a block if you need to the outside of your calf. Slide your right arm up, look up. Two shoulders stack, outer hips hug in. There's a scissoring of your thighs. Lengthen your waist. And then see if you can do a little less work with your left arm and your left shoulder. It's almost like it's not there. Take another big breath in, stay with it. Look down with your eyes, circle both hands to the floor. Walk your left foot over, set your feet up for a low lunge, and then take your easy twist. So your right hand stays down, your left arm extends up, and you're working on stacking your two shoulders. Yeah. Fabulous. Grip that outer hip in. And if you need a block underneath your shoulder, then set it up that way, underneath your hand. Back right leg is like a plank position, ladies. Yes. Look up, twist your ribs a little. Feel the weight in your left heel. Keep your left arm up. Just look down with your eyes. See if you can get your right palm flat right underneath your right shoulder, slightly forward. Drop your right knee. Turn it on an angle and then slide the left leg into a supported side plank. Reach up with your top arm. So you can just work on lifting that left leg up, hip height. I've got this fireplace behind me. Yeah. Bend your knee at the crease if you want to grab for a half bind. This feels really great. Working the front of the thigh, kick behind you, take your bottom ribs, turn them, and then look up a little. If you took a little bind here, release the leg. So now your arm is straight, your leg is straight. Don't let your left leg touch the ground. Look down with your eyes, left hand comes down, square off your hips and straighten your right foot so it goes back. In a little tabletop with your back leg extended. Curl the toes into the mat with your right foot, and then lift your hips up and back, three-legged down dog, how we started. Ground yourself. You may feel a little bit more open. Roll forward to plank. Hug your knees once again in towards your chest. Core hugs in. Look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Or set up Crescent Lunge if you prefer. Warrior One. Come on up. If you get up to Warrior One, you might have a little bit more space to go. So focus on sliding your left foot a little bit more forward. Right ribs turn. Waist lifts. Arms energetic. Look up a little with your eyes. You can smile with your eyes, which is what we're all learning to do wearing masks. Hands come down to frame your front foot, step back plank. Move through a vinyasa, bend your elbows in half, drag yourself through an up dog, point your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look where you want to go. You can step, you can float, you can crawl, you can walk, feet land top of mat. Long spine on the inhale breath, exhale, fold over yourself. Sit firmly into a chair pose, weight moves into your heels. So everybody's a little different with what their arms are able to do. If your arms can come more narrow and forward, that's great. If you need them a little wider out this morning, make those necessary adjustments for yourself. Dig your heels into the mat. Everybody's seat is moving back though. Weight is in your heels and chest lifts. Eyes look up a little. Press all the way up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, leave it behind. Yeah. Stretch the arms back up. Lower that seat into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through your vinyasa. From your downward facing dog, we'll land our right foot forward, Warrior One. If you prefer crescent, you take that. Come on up. Hands come down to the floor plank. Chaturanga or skip. Upward facing is a new breath. Downward facing, hips press back. Land your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong on an angle, Warrior One. Hands come down, plank position. Vinyasa if you care to. Upward facing dog. Yeah, hips up and back. Downward facing dog, be still. Opportunity right here to just move and breathe. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, weight stays forward, ideally. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Press up to stand, bring your hands to prayer. Just like this a few more times. Arms up, look up with your eyes. Sit again into chair. With excitement, I know. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips to set yourself up. Step, or float through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog pulls you through. Press to the tops of the feet if you're there. Downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot on an angle, Warrior One. Make it feel good for you. Hands come down, plank position. Chaturanga. Upward facing, these look great. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, Warrior One. Not too fast, not too slow, just right for you. Hands come down, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog, be still. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Plug down with your hands. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. These look good. Yeah, you can always take chair with your feet separated. Press to stand. Hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Slide the arms back up. Sit again into a chair. Keep the breath moving. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step, or float through your vinyasa. Move through an upward facing, point your toes, press the tops of the feet, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back foot at an angle, Warrior One. You should feel a little more open now. Hands come down, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog point. Downward facing dog back. Left foot forward, back foot on an angle. Warrior one. Hands come down, plank position. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog point. Downward facing dog back. In your down dog, bring your feet together to touch, like you have one leg. Roll forward to plank. Lean onto your left hand. Find a regular traditional side plank. If you prefer what we did before by dropping the knee, do that again. You can also stagger the feet, which is very helpful for keeping the hips aligned. Drive the right arm up, look up with your eyes. So find something that works, that you know you can hold here for a few breaths. If you want to take your top leg into a tree, that's cool. Grip your bottom hips in. Lift up a little bit more from your bottom hip. If you have tree, keep the tree legs, come to a plank. Yeah, if you don't have tree legs, see if you want to join us. You can add a tree with your right leg. Grip your outer hip in. Now, slide your right knee towards your right tricep. It's not going to actually touch it, but just in that general direction. Keep looking forward with your eyes. Really firm up your left leg. Hug the knee straight in to the center line. Keep looking forward. Slide your right foot forward and through. Turn your back foot strongly at an angle. Circle open to warrior two. And so it's hard for me to see everyone's alignment perfectly, but just look down and make sure that your right foot is forward and your back foot has got a little angle to it, and your heel to heel or heel to arch. Open up your arms nice and wide. I like my thumbs up and my palms forward. Play with it. Lengthen the tailbone, and your waist is straight up and down. Good. Right here, what I want you to try today is cactus the arms. Yeah. Cactus the arms. My palms are facing you, and there's a little movement of my shoulder blades, kind of a little thoracic spine action. Just cactus and squeeze in. Close your eyes here. Now, you're going to stretch your arms straight up towards the sky. Straight up, straight up, straight up. So elbows and fingertips straighten, and then drop down a little deeper. Yeah. Reset the arms for a regular warrior two position, and just see if you have a little bit more space. Your arms open, regular warrior two position, yeah. With your thumbs up, your palms facing. 2 more breaths. Sit a little deeper, drive the right heel into the mat. Turn up the inner part of your right thigh and find more space to breathe. Reach out with your right hand, slide it to the outside of your foot, left arm up. You could use a block, any direction. You can also just rest your arm on the top of your thigh today. Left arm can wrap forward. So this is the modified version. It's not at all like an easy escape. It's still very challenging. Or right hand down. Slide the left arm forward. If you're having difficulty breathing and moving your left arm forward, just choose the option of having it straight up and down. Grip your right hip underneath you. Turn your bottom ribs. Soften your right shoulder a little bit, and then look up with your eyes as you gently turn your belly from right to left. Use the strength of your left leg. It's firm, it's active, and then really grip your right hip underneath you as you press the outside of the right leg to the inside of the right arm. Stay with it. If the arm wrapped forward, just slide it straight up. Look down with your eyes. Move your weight forward, move your block with you, float to a half moon. Right foot must stay forward. Focus on gripping your right hip in. Left arm stacks on top. If looking up with your eyes doesn't feel great, just find something neutral to look at. Take your bottom ribs, turn them. If you'd like to add the Chopasana today, that's in the practice. Left arm slides back, you bend at the knee crease and grab your ankle. As you kick, just remind yourself the kick goes right behind the flat part of your back, that's your sacrum. for the back bend, and your bottom ribs continue to turn. And if you fall out, welcome to the world of yoga practice. Just come back and join us again. Good, release the left leg and just find a regular half moon. Grip your right hip underneath you, hug it in tight. Look down with your eyes. Left hand comes to the floor, square your hips, land your feet together, sit into a chair. Weight goes into your heels. Really move your weight back. Slide your hands to a prayer at heart. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn to the right. This is one that you could separate your feet a little and have more space in between your feet. If lower back's an issue, pay a lot of attention to your left side and that it's not wrapping forward. Your feet stay lined up, your shins stay lined up, your knees are lined up, and then you can twist as deeply as you can as you look up with your eyes. Good, you can open up your arms if you want to, just stay as you are. Keep moving the seat back. Keep the strong bend in your legs, pull back to a chair. Sit really deep in your chair. Fold over the legs, forward fold. Plant your palms and set up for crow. If crow is not in your practice today, my suggestion would just be to separate your feet and come into a wide squat, which actually is gonna feel really good. Yeah, so you use the back of your arms to press your inner thighs open. If you opt for crow, I'll just remind you to keep your feet together. Your knees split apart, your palms press down out in front of you, your knees slide into the upper part of your arms, and then you move your weight forward. One foot, then the other foot will lift, core draws in, spine rounds. Hug in, maybe get the arches of your feet together. Scoop out your lower belly. If you have a jump back, go for it. If not, just step, step. Meet me in a downward facing dog after you move through your vinyasa flow, if that feels good. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it out. That was good work. Feet come together at the back of the mat. Good. You're going to roll forward to plank. Lean onto the right hand. Find that traditional side plank here. Stagger the feet. Drop the bottom knee if you prefer. Maybe take the top leg into a tree. Grip the outer hips in. Lift a little higher. Keep the tree if you can, plank position, or join us in a plank with a tree. Look forward with your eyes. Take your left knee towards your left tricep. Hug your belly in a little. Look forward a little bit more. Hug the leg straight in. And then land your left foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle and come up to a warrior two. Warrior two. Check in with your feet. Make sure that that foot is forward. Arms reach firmly across your body. Back leg is strong. Remember, waist up and down, not turning forward. Inner thigh rotates open. You got to take a few breaths to let your body just kind of like absorb the pose. Get here, get where you're going, wherever that is, even though there's nowhere to go. Cactus the arms for me, palms face the front. Yeah, cactus your arms, you got it. There's a hugging of your shoulder blades together. That looks great. Lengthen your tailbone. Really nice. Stay with that. Close your eyes just for a breath or two. Or 14. Slide the arms straight up. Just move that energy and pause. Keep wrapping the thigh open. Yes. And then go ahead, bend a little deeper. It's challenging. Let your arms just drop back down to regular warrior two arms. Turn up the inner part of your thigh, broaden your chest. This looks great. Now look forward, reach out with your left hand and slide the hand into an extended side angle. A variation is where we're going today, or arm to the top of the thigh. Right arm can stretch straight up or it can move forward over your ear. Hug the hip in. And then pay attention to the little things, like are you clenching your toes to the ground? Good. You don't want to do that. You want to have the weight in the whole foot, feel the weight in your heel, wrap the outer hip underneath you, turn up your bottom ribs, and find a nice extension from the right side of your foot all the way through your fingertips. Stay with this, just a few more breaths. Two more. Right arm slides straight up, look down, float to your half moon. Play with the display of your block. Maybe not so high, maybe a little lower today. Maybe you need that support underneath the shoulder, but float up into your half moon. Stack the two hips on top of one another, slide the right arm up, and then look up with your eyes once you get your balance. Spark up your right toes firmly. These look good. And then if you want to add the bind, it's up to you. You can bend at the knee crease, you can stay here, or you can wrap the hand around the outer ankle. As you kick, remember, kick behind you. Turn your bottom ribs and then look off your right shoulder. Focus on that standing leg. Grip the hip in. Anticipate falling out. That's when you know you're working to your edge. If you took that bind, just release the leg. Try not to fling it. Move slow. Stack the right arm back up. Eyes look down. Right hand comes to the floor. Square your hips. Slide your feet together at the top edge of your mat. Sit firmly into a chair. Deep in chair. Reposition your focus forward. Good. Move your seat back. Drag your hands to a prayer at heart center. Hook the elbow. Turn towards the left. Check in with your alignment. It's actually helpful having these cameras on you because you can see, if your right knee is moving way past your left. Keep the spine really long, the crown of the head moving forward. If your arms are open, broaden your arms in your chest. Nice alignment, Dara. Let the thoughts just come and go, guys. Yes. Try not to fight it. Sit a little bit deeper into the pose. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Pull yourself around to chair. Recommit to your chair. It's strong, it's fierce. Look forward. Move a little bit more weight back into your heels and then press all the way up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Just stand for a second. Let that kind of move away. Standing on your left leg now, just take your right leg up to a 90-degree angle. Flex your foot. Bring your hands to a prayer at heart. Start to turn your torso to the right just a little bit. Keep the lift of the thigh. Spread your arms wide. Now, you may stay here. You may want to grab the outer part of the leg. You may feel really good with your balance and your flexibility today and may be able to reach down and grab the outer blade of your foot. So a few different options, but just stay engaged wherever you choose. And remember, you don't want to lean all the way back. You want to stand up tall. So wherever you are, leg can be bent. You can just be floating in space. But see if you can begin to look back a little with your eyes. Flex that foot, even if it's just bent, the front foot. And soften your right hip a little. Stand up a little taller, activate the left thigh. And then start to move your eyes forward. Wherever your leg is, keep it lifted in space and bring your arms straight up. If the leg is straight out in front of you, that's great. If it's bent in half, that's totally fine. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm, bend your left leg, and wrap your right thigh around. Eagle. Squeeze nice and tight. So just like chair pose, eagle's the same in the setup. The seat has to move back, the weight's in your heels, elbows lift. And then you focus like down the center line of your body, kind of creating the straight line of energy. Move the weight more back into your standing left heel. Squeeze the outer hips nice and tight. And try not to feel like you're pulling your elbows down, but rather lifting them up. So you're creating space in the shoulders. So we're gonna get out the way we went in. The transition's important. Sweep the arms straight up towards the sky like a regular chair. Press to stand, hugging your right knee. Firmly flex your right foot, soften the shoulders down the back, draw the waist up. Lower the right foot to meet the left, bring the hands to prayer. Let it go. Stand on your right leg, just draw your left knee in. So you can just do a little, you can just do as much as this. Flex firmly, hands to prayer, pray for yourself. Turn a little to the left, open up your arms. This is a good place to be. Hand can come to the outside of the thigh, grab the outer blade of your foot. There's options. When you kick the leg forward, the leg that's moving forward does not have to be perfectly straight. Standing right leg is a straighter and more straighter position, but there's a little bend behind it. Broaden the left arm back, begin to look back with your eyes. Stand up a little taller, breathe. Eyes start to move forward, arms reach up. Leg can be out straight or it can be bent in half, it's up to you. Wrap your left arm underneath your right arm and then start to bend your right leg enough to get your left thigh somewhat around. Move your hips back. Yeah, steer them back and then sit a little deeper. Lift your elbows up a little higher. Feel the weight in your right heel. Feel your outer legs firmly pressing together. And rather than drawing down with your elbows, lift them up for the last breath or two. Unravel just your arms. Press into the standing right leg, draw the left knee in, flex the foot firmly, pause. Lower the left foot down, hands to prayer. Slide your hands to your hips, step your left foot back, walk your right foot over to the right. With your hands on your hips, your feet are about 3, maybe 4 feet if you're on the taller side. Left arm drives up towards the sky. With your right hand, move your hip back and then start to come forward halfway. Keep moving your right hip back and then come the rest of the way down. We're setting up for twisting triangle. Left hand comes down underneath the shoulder. Right hand can then come to the flat part of your back. Stack your right arm up and then look up with your eyes. And the best way I can describe this pose is that someone's got you by a bungee cord. They're moving your hips back. Yeah, looks good, Kristen. Really nice from what I can see. Good work, ladies. Move that seat back. Feel the anchor of that strong back leg, if you have that. And then twist a little bit more. So staying here for the next 3 or 4 breaths, or moving on to revolved Ardha Chandrasana. The block's gonna move forward out in front of you. Your hand can come to the flat part of your mat. Back leg lifts up hip height like we did in that down dog before. Same action of events. It's kind of like a warrior 3. You can even opt for that if you don't want to add the twist. This is a great alternative. You can just be in a warrior 3 with blocks. Hands on your lower back, begin to look right. Lift from your inner thigh. Lengthen your torso and twist all those little ribs. Maybe stack your right arm up for the last few. The lift of your inner left thigh is the hardest part, keeping that and then continuing to twist. Look down, right hand to the floor. If you're just in a twisting triangle, join your feet together at the top of the mat, meet us there. Long spine on the inhale breath, exhale, fold, hands to your hips, pull yourself up to stand. Good, nice work. Slide your right foot back, walk your left foot over, about hips width distance, about 3 to 4 feet. Left hand on hip, right arm reaches up really long and strong. Press firmly through your back leg, come halfway down. Use this hand, your left hand, to move your hip back. It's a good reminder. And then hand comes down to the instep of the foot or even to the top of the shin. So Nancy, for this one, come up even higher. Yeah, come like where your fingertips are just below the kneecap. And you're applying very little pressure and keep your hand here. So keep a lot of lift in the torso. And then twist. Stack the 2 shoulders only if you have this range of motion. Keep moving your seat back. Easier said than done, I'm aware of that. Grip your hips underneath you. Yeah. Come back to the breath if you're starting to lose your attention. Right. So stay here if you're enjoying twisting triangle. I don't know if it's that enjoyable. Or float forward to revolved Arda. So your hand can come to the flat part of your back. The block moves out in front of you. The back leg lifts up. Do things in steps. Lift from the inner thigh, pause here. Maybe you opt for warrior 3 with blocks too. Left arm can extend up. Lift from your waist, lift from your inner thigh, flex your foot, and then breathe. Nice work. Eyes look down, left hand comes to the floor. Listen, different transition. Giant step back with your right foot into a low lunge. Plant your palms directly underneath your shoulders. Slide your left foot back, plank position. We're in a plank, that's where we're meeting. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a great up dog. Pause in the up dog. Good. If you want to take chaturanga from here, recurl the toes, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Straighten your arms to plank. Meet me in a downward facing dog. From your down dog, glide your right foot forward and through. Come on up, crescent lunge. You can take crescent lunge with your knee down if you prefer. Arms reach up nice and big. Hands to prayer at heart center. Lean out in front of you like 2 or 3 inches and then hook the elbow and begin your twist. Back leg strong. So we're talking a lot about those outer hips, right? Our outer hips as women are on the weaker side. So if we really focus on gripping those hips underneath you, you're gonna find a lot more stability in these poses. Open up your arms if you want a little bit more, or just stay as you are. I've been experimenting with this. I keep my left arm bent in a twist, and then my right arm, I reach it back. And rather than looking back, because that's gonna round my spine, I just look sideways and I pause here. And then I breathe into my upper collarbone. Keep gripping that hip, firm up that left leg a little bit more. Draw the right arm back into that prayer. And then we'll look down with our eyes, take the hands to the floor. So this is gonna feel great. Walk your right foot to the center. Drag your left knee, and we're gonna come to Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's a seated spine twist. So your right foot bends to the outside of your left knee, and then your right hand's gonna come behind you at the base of your spine. Go ahead and just hug the leg in. This is gonna give the piriformis a stretch. Look over the right shoulder. If your right hand is reaching really far back, it's gonna be hard to straighten out the spine. So bring it close to you. Look over the shoulder. Then at this point, if you want to hook the elbow in some way, you're welcome to do so. Even grab the knee. Come around to center. Good. So from here, we're going to go to Gomakasana, Goma legs. So how this works is you have to shift your weight forward, guys. Stack the 2 knees. So your right knee is in front of your left. Your feet are going to separate. Now, if you start to lower and you're way up high, reach for something, a block, a cushion, something to sit up. Now, the importance here is that you want your 2 knees on top of one another and your feet equally apart from your hips, okay? You can hook the big toes, inhale the breath, and then exhale, start to fold. And this gets you pretty good. If you're uber flexible and you don't feel much here, then you can round down and start to walk your hands out. Make your arms super active. Yeah, that looks great, Dara. Keep flexing your feet and then let your head just go and breathe. Start to pull yourself up. There's no pretty way out of this. Just unravel your legs, step to a downward facing dog. When you get to downward facing dog, if you want to clear it out with a vinyasa, roll forward plank, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, pull yourself to an up dog. Hang with me, guys. Downward facing dog. Last little bit, glide your left foot forward and through into a lunge and come on up crescent lunge. You can always drop the knee, totally cool. Hands to prayer, inhale the breath, lean forward just a little bit and then hook the elbow. So I think what we're aiming for in this pose is to really take the round out of our back. Good. So back leg is super strong. You're sitting as much weight as you can into your heel. And your left hip continues to do a lot of work. Now, if you want to try what I was doing on the other side, the right arm's going to stay bent, kind of like in a half prayer, and my left arm will reach back. And you can do this with the knee down too. Rather than looking all the way back, just look sideways. Grip the hips, firm up your back leg strong, and almost use this elbow, that right elbow, to remind you to like kind of lean back a little bit. Rebend the hand to meet in a prayer if you chose that option. Nice work. Look down with your eyes, take both hands to the floor. Walk the left foot to the center of the mat, just gonna help with the alignment. Swing your right knee behind your foot and come down to sit. Two butt cheeks firm, left hand behind you. Right arm's gonna come up. You can hook the elbow. You can give the leg a squeeze. You can grab the front of the knee, but sit up straight and then start to twist. Look over the shoulder. Just make sure you're not sitting on your foot. Good. Come back to center. Unravel yourself here. And then swing your weight forward so your two knees stack. So your left thigh bone is now lining up with your right thigh bone. And you're going to come down and sit. And if you need something underneath your bum, go ahead and do that. We're looking for even space between your heels, the side of your hips. Hook the toes, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, start to fold. Yeah, if you want a little more, try this. Slide your arms out in front of you. You can round your spine a little here. I'm cool with that. Let your head go and really make those arms active. Firm your palms. Keep moving your seat back. Let your head go. Pull yourself up nice and slow. Unravel your legs and find your way to your bum. Just sit like this. Your feet are like this, hips width distance. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh if you can. Yeah. Your hands are going to face you. Right. Inhale the breath. We're going to go into reverse tabletop with ankle to knee. So if you feel like you can't take the ankle to knee part, you'll just take regular reverse tabletop. But this is going to get that external rotation. Flex your foot firm and then lift yourself up. Now, I keep my head neutral and I just look up. Perfect. Flex your right foot more, lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, lower down. Lower your right foot, just pause. Left ankle crosses, flex the foot firmly. The lift is from your tailbone to the back of the knee. Move on the exhale breath. Here we go. Big breath in. Exhale, lift. Broaden the upper shoulders, plug down more to lift a little higher. Exhale the breath, lower down. Nice work. Lower the left foot. One more. Feet press down. Giant breath in. Exhale the breath, lift up. As you lift up here, if you were looking for a little more this morning, you can slide your feet out straight. It's up to you. And then lift. You can flex your feet, or the goal is to get the feet flat, but it's impossible for me. Lift up. Exhale the breath, lower down. Wrap your arms around the front of your shins and crawl into a ball. Lower yourself down onto your backs, lay flat. 2 more back bends laying down. Yep, bend your legs. I've been just opting for a block for supported bridge. It feels good in my body, but if you like regular bridge, hips lift, hands will clasp. Cup the shoulder blades, turn the feet forward and the thighs down. If you're opting for a block, place it any direction. on the flat part of your back, and then lift up there. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Steer your feet forward. Wrap your thighs under you. Stay on the block if you know this is a good spot for you today. If you'd like to add on in your practice, exhale the breath, lower down. Flip the palms over the head for full wheel. Just one of these today. Flip the palms, bring the chin to the chest. Take a giant breath in. Exhale that breath, lift yourself up. But if you're not going there today, that's fine. I like what you're doing, Kristen. That's great. Yep. Straight up and down with those feet. And then with your hands clasped there, cup the shoulder blades together a little bit more. So that's where you're getting the back bend. Nice, Dara. Steer those feet forward, turn your thighs down and under, and then lift from your tailbone to your knees. Exhale your breath. Start to move out of the pose. If your legs are lifted on a block, just lower one at a time. Once your feet get rooted, then you move anything out of the way and you lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana is how we started the practice. Feet come together, knees flop apart. Yeah. Let your left hand stay on the outer part of your inner part of your thigh. Draw your right leg up, half happy baby. Just how we started. Draw the right shoulder back down. Lower the right foot down, Supta Baddha. Use your right hand, encourage the thigh to open. Use the left hand, draw the left thigh to the outer part of the rib. Half happy baby on the left side. Full happy baby, let the right leg join up, lengthen the tailbone. Hug the knees in, wrap the legs close to you. Slide the left leg out with your right knee squeezing tight towards your chest. Flex your left foot, keep the calf down. Take your right thigh over to the left, supine twist, cactus the right arm. Come up to center, release the right leg out, draw the left knee in, give it a good active squeeze. And then move your hips a little and drop your leg over to the right, upper body to the left. And roll up to center and set up for Shavasana. You worked hard for it, so separate your feet, separate your arms, make yourself comfortable. Exhale all the breath out, let go of the Ujjayi breath, and relax. You can put on the last song.
Take a big breath in. Take a loud exhale breath out. Draw your arms up over the top of the head, a full body stretch. Hug your knees to your chest, big squeeze in. And in your own way, just move yourself up to seated, or if you want to stay down and take a nap because you can, you do that. Sitting up nice and tall and just appreciating this flow this morning, our bodies being able to move, having some gratitude. Bring your hands to a prayer and just bow your head for a second. Close your eyes. Lift your head, open your eyes with much gratitude to you all. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. Back at it tomorrow morning at 9:30. We'll see you soon.